Today we are going to talk about the one mic you must have in your studio. I'm sorry about the clickbaity title, but I'm sure it got you in here. So without further ado, the one mic you must have is this mic, the SM7B, the Shure SM7B. This mic is phenomenal. I use it more than any other mic in my entire mic locker here that I use at the studio on a daily basis. This mic just does it all. So if you're looking for that one mic that you could use on just about anything, especially if you're just starting out and you're trying to start your home studio from the ground up, this might be the best first purchase mic for you. So I'm going to go through some of the reasons of that in this video today, and we are going to jump into why this is the best mic ever. So to start with, what do I use this mic on? So I use it a lot on guitars, banjos, vocals, of course. It's known as a vocal mic. It was especially known as a mic that Michael Jackson used on Thriller. But all that aside, it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is that this is probably one of the most common mics you will find in home studios, and therefore you can tell that it's being used by everyone around the world to create great sounding vocals, or even guitar tracks. Like I said, I've used it on that a bunch. So let's jump into what this mic is good on. I love to use this mic on vocals for sure, but I also use it on podcasts, live streaming, live videos in the studio, and I pretty much have put it in front of anything. I put it in front of my banjo and it sounded great as well. And the thing about this mic that I love is that it rejects the sound of the room. So right now we're in a fairly large room. Granted, it has some acoustic treatment on it, but this mic is not going to pick up the sound of the room as much as a traditional condenser microphone would. The main reason is that this is a dynamic microphone, meaning that it doesn't have phantom power, and so therefore it's not powered by that little button that you see on your interface that says 48V. And this allows it to not pick up the surrounding room as much. Also, dynamic mics are the ones that are traditionally used on stages when you play live. So those are also made to not pick up the surrounding instruments so you don't get feedback on the live stage. So for all these reasons, this mic is phenomenal, but it also just sounds great. And it's great for doing voiceover work on radio shows and things like that. It was kind of designed as a broadcast mic, but it's been adopted as just one of the best mics in the studio as well. So we're going to do a little test here, and I just want to show you what this mic sounds like versus another condenser mic, and I'm going to set it up in the middle of my studio room right here, just so you can hear how like a bigger room would affect the sound of the mic. I'm assuming that some of you who are starting out, you might be placing this mic in your bedroom or a large untreated basement or something like that, and this can get you started doing that. So let's take a look at what these two different mics sound like. All right, so here we are in my home studio in the bigger part of my room that has about 12-foot ceilings and is very open. So there is a little bit of a roomy sound in here. So you can hear on this mic right now what it sounds like. And I'm just gonna sing for a second, and you can just hear what like a vocal might sound like. Ooh, yeah. So now let's do the exact same thing with a large diaphragm condenser microphone like you might do in a normal studio situation, not using a dynamic microphone like this one. So this microphone has a pop filter around it, which is another thing I wanted to mention, is that when you're using the Shure SM7B, you don't need a pop filter because it's got that built-in pop filter around it, and it's not as sensitive, so it won't pick up all the plosives and the S's and things like that. This microphone will. So I'm going to use a pop filter in front of it, and you can probably already tell right now just listening to my voice. I don't know what it sounds like, but I'm sure you can hear more of the room. I have it in the cardioid setting, which means it's only picking up what's in front of the microphone. So that is helping a little bit, but like I said, it's still going to pick up some of the room. So I'm going to do another little vocal test so you can hear and compare the two. Ooh, yeah. Now, granted, this microphone probably sounds amazing. It's one of my favorite vocal mics. It's a Microtech Gefell UMT70S FET microphone. It's made in Germany. I believe it branched off of the Neumann mics at one point. So it's a really nice microphone. But you can still hear the difference. The main thing I wanted to talk about is the rejection of the room. All right, so lastly, I want to say that you may need a device called a cloud lifter with this mic. Granted, I have never felt like I needed it. I do have to gain my interfaces up a good amount. I've used it on both the Scarlett 2i2, which is a great beginner interface, and then I've also used it on my Apollo 8, which is another tremendous interface by Universal Audio, and both times I've never felt like I needed the cloud lifter. Essentially, the cloud lifter will boost the signal so that you're getting enough gain into your interface. It's kind of like a little mic preamp. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description just in case you want to check one out. There'll also be a link in the description for the Shure SM7B, so if you're ready to just jump in and start using this phenomenal mic, then you can find it there. Lastly, if you have enjoyed this video, then you may enjoy my 10 tips to pro recordings and mixes. These are tricks that I've learned over the years of professionally recording here in Nashville, recording artists, recording for film and TV, and I'm sure they will up your game in your own home studio. So to check those out, you can click the link to soundproofyourstudio.com and you can sign up on our email list and you'll get those 10 tips delivered to your inbox. And on top of that, I have a free soundproofing course. If you're ready to take the next step and you want to soundproof your studio, then check out that free course. It has tremendous value. People have said they save $5,000 trying to soundproof their home studio by just taking that free course. So check it out, guys. Until next week, have so much fun in your studio, and I will see you all later.